So you started totally kind of hating your job. You had entrepreneurial aspirations, and now you're a year in, right? What is some advice you'd give to people who have a product idea but don't necessarily know where to start or how to bring it to market?
I think what you'll get from most people, first of all, like, it's all about execution. Like, everybody has great ideas, but like, one of my favorite things that like I always thought that I fit the mold of was like a wantrepreneur versus an entrepreneur. And I always had all these ideas, and I'd be like telling my fiance, like, oh my God, I got this idea, we're going to do this. And it always came down to execution. Like, are you willing to take the leap? And there's a lot of different like advice out there for how to do it. Like, obviously I just left my job, and I think for me and my personality, like maybe not for everybody else, but it needed to be like make or break. Like, I needed to like literally drown if I didn't succeed to get where to stay. And I'm not saying NOCA's some massive success. I mean, I don't, like I told you, I don't even have a salary, but that's what it really needed to come down to, was like survival type deal.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. Because otherwise I'd be like, I'd go to work, I'd come home, I'd be like, oh, I'm super amped on this idea. I'd work on it for a few days and then get exhausted by work and then just kind of like push to the side. And so I think you need to figure out how your personality functions. Some people are able to do both at once and stay motivated but if I was receiving like a constant paycheck, it just wasn't enough drive. I'd be like, well, what if I get promoted next year? I make, 15,000 more a year, yada, yada, yada. So that's one piece of advice. I think you need to know yourself. You need to know what's going to drive you to actually execute, because if you don't execute, then it's just an idea, and an idea is pretty much worthless. The other thing I would say is you need to have your research done on your industry, what you're going to like, and why there's a demand for your product and proof behind that. One of the biggest struggles that NOCA had from the beginning was we did have a couple investor meetings that we went to, and they're like, where's your proof that people like your product? Like, great. It tastes great. I just tried it. Where's your proof there's a market demand for this? And we had people tell us like, before I would consider investing money in your company, I'm going to need you to do like a 600-person blind taste test, which obviously costs an absurd amount of money to get 600 strangers.
And you were like, dude, shut up.
Right. Yeah.
If someone said that to me, I'd be so pissed.
Yeah. And so we were, and our whole argument was like, there is a major competitor in the market with the same product. Like, we know there's a market for this thing. And so we had people who, whatever, knew what they were talking about and bought in on us and gave us our first round of funding. But I think that's another thing. It's just like, you need to have your pitch down. Like, it needs to be smooth, and you need to know your market, and you need to know what's coming for questions, because if you get blindsided by something like that and you don't know how to answer that or rebuttal in any way, then it kind of looks like they're right. And what you'll find is like a lot of people just think they know. Like, they may know nothing about the alcohol industry, for example, but they thought they knew a lot of different things.
Yeah, I feel you. But that's once your product's already in development, but you're just saying, hey man, just to simplify it, because the editors will cut up the clip, but you're saying like, hey, if you wanted to go do it, just got to execute.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest takeaway I've gotten is execute, and it's going to be a roller coaster. Like,
it sucks sometimes.
NOCA is a roller coaster. Yeah. I mean, it's like some days we're down here, and then the next day it's like, whoa, we landed this huge account.
The wins are very validating.
Yes.
I sometimes wish I could shift into selling tangible product, because it's much more in front of your face.
Oh, yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know?
Yeah, you get to see
I love selling. It's like fun.
Yeah.
You know?